Hello everybody, my name is Steven Marcateros, and welcome back to From the Depths. Yes, it's the game that all of you seem to enjoy because, well, it's sort of like Sinking Simulator, but it's not Sinking Simulator, so not all of you enjoy it, only some of you, but, you know, more than the average. I can't play Civ 5 and garner 2,000 views from you guys, so I figure, you know what, you guys really do like this game, and so I decided, you know, why not actually show off some of the build process that I like to do behind the scenes? Why don't I make maybe a little series out of this building process? Now, I'd like to say, if you want to suggest ships for me to build, please, 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 do not suggest for me to build the Titanic or the Lusitania or any other historical ship because, well, I've been asked that so many times that it's actually become sort of like an insult to me. Yeah, I know, you wouldn't think that, right? But it's been 2 years of people asking me to build those ships. And no, I do not want to spend massive amounts of time building things. That's why things don't work. That's why series don't work. It's because I spend an absolutely massive amount of time building something. And then at the end, I'm just like, was it worth it? You know, and sometimes you don't want to finish the project. Sometimes I get bad at completing projects, and you know, that's just the way I do projects. So yeah, if you want to suggest something, suggest a smaller idea, you know, suggest like a gunboat, or suggest like, you know, something creative, something interesting, like, I don't know, like a small helicopter or something, you know, not something huge. Don't give me a huge project to try and complete. I'm not that kind of guy who has all day to build projects. All right. We've got that out of the way now. So what are we going to do today? Well, I want to build a small little gunboat for you guys. I thought that would be a nice start to our FTD build series. Eventually, I do want to integrate this into the campaign. Yeah, I'm going to watch some tutorials about how to do the campaign. A lot of you guys said that it was kind of simple, albeit I've looked at it once and I thought it was terrifyingly difficult. So apparently we have very different views on how the system works. I'm going to be using the mirror for most of my builds, which is done by pressing N and just, you know, having the mirror work. What are we going to build the ship out of? I think we could go for building it out of metal. I think I could get away with that. I'm usually pretty good with getting away at building things out of metal, mainly because I have experience in designing things in metal. And maybe that's because where I got my new job at. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'm messing with you. Come on, mirror. Mirror, what are you doing? Mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Never worked in From the Depths. Oh, crap. I accidentally just blew up like the new ship. All right. All right. No, that's not the mirror we're looking for. Come on, mirror. Do I just need to look at it the regular way? Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, the mirror's working now. I don't know. I'm a little bit rusty, okay? It's been like 5 days since I've last played this. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing a little bit. But, you know, it always comes back to you. It's just like riding a bicycle. Driving a car and riding a bicycle are scarily similar processes. Don't tell my parents I said that because they will absolutely murder me. All right, so what kind of thing we're gonna do for this? Well, I'm gonna build kind of the bottom of the boat. You know, where you know, it sits kind of on the bottom, and I'll probably end up building a keel under that to keep it from flipping itself over. I don't know. I think I want to make it a little bit wider. This is a little bit thin for what we're going for. A gunboat. It's gonna have quite a heavy weapon on it, so we're gonna need a pretty wide base in order to keep it from flipping out of control. Make it a little bit longer too. I think this is pretty good. It's just going to be a small little metal gunboat. I think you guys will like it when it comes out. Of course, we get wider around the edges here. Actually, I should probably go down and do it down here too. Yep. If you didn't know, you can hold stuff down. There also is a fill button that I will use from time to time, depending on how confident I feel in the game's stability. But since I installed that new CPU fan, which is like the last video I uploaded because I've been busy all of this week, my gosh, so much stuff going on. You would know that I have a faster processor, or not faster processor, but I can process things faster, I guess. I don't want to come out one more. I think I could come out one more and then go 2 up. I think that might end up good. I don't want to make it look weird. Yeah, it's like the #1 goal of designing ships is don't make them look weird. I think I'm going to need to make it a little bit longer to get away with this design, but I think that will be okay. I think it will turn out good in the end. All right, so, and then we push this in, and I'm definitely going to make that a little bit longer. That's going to be a really bizarre front if I don't do something about that. All right, we'll just work on that as we go along. All right. Yeah, sorry if I like to flash the screen around because a lot because that's how you do that in this game. It's very interesting build controls. It's very it has a steep learning curve, but it's actually quite nice once you get into it. All right, so I know I've been teasing you guys for a while about what I've been up to this week, and yes, I did get a new job. I am a temp at a metal warehouse office where I am doing some documentation. That is all I can actually say because I don't want to give away company secrets. And, you know, that would be like corporate espionage, and then like our competitors would, you know, try to take over the world and stuff like that. Stuff that you don't want to happen in the metals industry, otherwise very bad things happen. I will say about the metal industry is that there's a lot of damaged metal. That's all I'm going to put out there. There's a lot of damaged metal. All right, so what else has been going on? Well, Alec has been moving, I know. It doesn't seem like that exciting of a process. I'll be able to finally get rid of him! Yay! After 16 years of living with him, I finally get rid of my brother. I know, absolutely fantastic. It's the most joyous occasion that has happened to me in a very, very long time, and I am so glad that he will finally be gone. Yeah, my God, I'm not going to miss him. Well, maybe I will. Probably not. Why would I miss my brother? You know, leave that in the description, guys. Did you guys miss your family if they moved out? If they didn't move out, well, do you like being forever alone as an only child? Or are you just, you know, the oldest child? I assume quite a lot of you are actually quite younger because, well, demographics. Yeah, I know, I'm really creepy. I have demographics, and I can watch people. Not really watch you. I can just see your age and, you know, where you live and, you know, like what videos you've watched and when you subscribed and, you know, how long you watched my videos for. That's kind of stuff. You know, it's not really infringing at all upon, you know, your own privacy. It's not really our information. It's my information. Oh, whatever. Yeah, okay, something else that's coming up is the YouTube creator content thingy that they're doing. It's for YouTube creators to come out and, you know, share and I believe also learn stuff about analytics and how to utilize analytics and how to use using their studio, basically. It's also another thing. Yeah, that's happening in Chicago. Won't be there. Sorry. Have school. School's pretty important. And brother's got work, so it's also pretty important to him. All right, I think this makes a pretty good nice design for a boat. You know, it's got a pretty sweet front. Probably came out a bit strange with that, but I'll fix it up. It'll look pretty nifty. I'll see if it floats right off the bat. My guess is no. My guess is correct. Well, wait. Yeah, it's not going to float. Yeah, that's sinking. Yeah, that's because we did not use an air compressor. Yes, from the depths tip 101, always use an air pump or a compressor if you're an American and like saying the word air pump, because it really gets you going. All right, now if we drop it back in the water, it should relatively float. I'm not sure how well it's going to float because it is, again, made of solid metal, but it should at least float. All right, it is a bit heavy. Not going to lie. But that was to be expected. We'll have to work out some nice issues with that later on. It's probably going to be the biggest issue with this boat, to be honest with you. I know it's not really tall enough, but yeah, we could put outriggers. Outriggers look stupid on it, though. Yeah, it'll be fine. Everything's always fine, right? Everything's always fine. All right, so let's put on some main components of the ship. We'll get a nice engine. We'll put it in the back this time. Sometimes I end up putting them in the front if my boat isn't particularly large, because it's nice to have it in the front because it's a good counterweight to all the stuff you put in the back of it. But, you know, that is up to personal preference. Yes, engines are done. You know, crankshafts, got that. How big do I want the engine? That's big enough, I guess. I don't need anything super huge. All you need to do is operate the engines and operate ammo processors and fuel processors. That shouldn't be all that much. All right, we got that down there. All right, exhaust. Am I going to use exhaust in this design? Ooh, I don't know. Let's just go without exhaust for now because it's kind of hidden anyway. You know, exhausts are more for that whole, you know, special viewing thing, making it look really stylish and pretty. Albeit I am not going to partake in that activity today because my style and beauty come from solid blocky metal. Yes, and you better admit that my solid blocky metal designs are absolutely beautiful, or you can't stay subscribed to my channel. If you're not subscribed, then you just can't subscribe. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, you can subscribe, but you know, just think about that. Think about it. I could add some engine pieces along the top, albeit it wouldn't work well because it would interfere with the deck layer of the ship. Unless I decided to make that 4 tall, which would look absolutely bizarre. I think if we look at the engine design, it'll have some nice power. But yeah, we're going to need some fuel tanks for sure on this. Otherwise, oh, hold on. Someone's breaking in. Someone's breaking in right now. Not sure what's going on. Hold on. All right, guys, sorry about that. Lost my train of thought, but there was a little bit of a cheesecake involved. And, you know, when there's cheesecake, you just can't really deny it. I mean, who can deny cheesecake? It's pretty spectacular, especially my mother's cheesecake. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, today, yeah, my God, a lot of things going on today. Is my brother's birthday. Yes, he moved out a few days ago. His birthday's today. No, he's not 18. He's like 85. Yes, that is his actual age. He's 85. Look it up. Look it up. We have a wiki, you know. We have a Dodge Them All wiki. When was the last time you visited it? Visited it. Hard word to say. When was the last time you visited it? Huh? Huh? How do you know that I am not some millionaire son? Huh? You don't, because you didn't check my wiki. Check my wiki. I'll leave it in the description for all y'all to, you know, ponder about. Anyway, we're gonna fill this up with a couple different compartments, just so we can keep everything a little bit separated. Albeit, I think it might be a little bit on the short side. Well, we'll try to make it double thick. We like to make the what do you call these? Hole separators. The bulkheads kind of thick, so when the ship suffers a puncture in one, it doesn't puncture like all of them at the same time. Well, I mean, they are separated, but like you can't shoot like in the middle and it blows up the entire thing. You know, you want to have a little bit of armor in between it. All right, so let's stick a air pump in the engine area, which will make it more buoyant and, you know, float out of the water like good buoyant things do. All right, and we're going to need to decide where we are going to put our cannon at. I think that we're going to put a nice kind of biggish cannon right on the front of the ship, actually. I think that's the best place that we'd be able to put it. I think right here. So if we can get a new object, and if we go for the spin, or actually no, not spin, turn the 360-degree turret, and we go to precision, make sure it's all lined up. I can go to the front. All right, let's get some metal. I think I'll actually use light alloy. Actually, I think I'll start assigning light alloy and metal to hotkeys so I can make it a little bit easier to get to. All right, and we want to make sure this is like 1 or 2 above, you know, a nice height for our firing piece to go. I think that's a good height. It can hit pretty much anywhere there. Go to custom cannons, get our firing piece, and we can get our barrel on. Actually, we'll go for the motor-driven barrel since it does increase the firing arc, and then just a few actual barrels. All right, now I've had a lot of interesting experiences building nice cannons like this. And what I will say is, well, for one, use your mirrors. And 2, cannons have a max size. All right, so I mean, you can obviously add as many things, many auto loaders as you want to a cannon. However, once your cannon reaches like a certain size, there is a limit to how many of you know, auto loaders or ammo boxes you can add because of something that is in the game. All right, so you can see add a few for sustained defense firing. Each box loads ammo from the constructible's ammo supply, and you can see on here that it's okay. What does it add on here? I think they might have changed this. No, okay, maybe not ammo boxes. I think ammo boxes actually don't have the same effect. I think they do, but it's not the same. Albeit there is like a max reload time on there too, but you don't add too many ammo boxes. Otherwise, high explosive capabilities, like actual cannon exploding, not bullets exploding. All right, so yes, explosive warheads. So if you see on here, it says that the reload modifier of each component is 0.85 right now. I believe normally it initial EXP damage increases 20, and then the subsequent components as 0.9 of the last. Now the thing with that is that if you plug that formula into a nice graphing calculator, actually just a scientific calculator, you can find that there is a limit to any of this. It will not reach a certain point or higher. As you know, if you take like medication, you can calculate using that same formula. It's a what do they call them? It's like y equals ABX. Yeah, y equals ABX. That sounds sort of right. I think it's algebra 2. I'm not trying to bore you with algebra 2, but yes, if you use some fancy time formula, and then you can figure out that there is actually a limit to it. So no matter how many of these adds, you can never go past that number. That's important to note because you can start adding and adding and adding more, but it's adding like 0.000004, and you're never going to get anywhere because you can't actually go above that number in any way. All right, so how do you work around that? Well, you can try increasing the gauge size. If you increase the gauge size to be high enough, you can raise that limit because I'm not actually sure. I think gauge size just adds like a multiplier to your what do you call it? It's a multiplier to your thing. Yeah, your damage and stuff. Yeah. Great terminology right there. Damage and stuff. Man, I am professional YouTuber all the way. All right. So yeah, increasing the gauge size will do that, but it'll also cut down on the reload time. They have to hit more ammo boxes, and then your thing is more likely to explode. So you can obviously see where a lot of trade-offs start coming into play. Now right here we have a nice cannon base. We've got some. What do we got? We got some auto loaders packed on here as tight as we can. And I'm doing the design so it can still turn when I turn it. I'm not sure about this back, making it around this right here. That's why I am going to take it out of build mode and hope that it doesn't sink and try to manually control it. Ooh, I'm still standing over here. Wow. Now that is one heck of a boat. It's leaning a little bit forward. That is a little bit disconcerting. We might have to do something about that, add some wood on the bottom. All right, let's see if it will turn all the way. And yeah, it does. It clears it just fine. All right. I was a little bit worried. Probably actually shouldn't have been. Yeah. Wow. Actually, like, seriously, cleared it like just fine. Why was I worried about that then? I always a little bit overcorrect the whole turning radius of the turrets. I think I can actually add some on the back here too, and it won't. No negative effects will occur. All right. Maybe the front too. All right. Let's see if we can get that to turn. Yep, still turns, which is nice. All right, and then if we fire this, you'll probably note that no internal ammo supplies. We haven't added any ammo boxes to the actual turret itself. So this is where we got to get into where we're going to position this stuff at. Ammo boxes I like to keep near the bottom for, well, obvious reasons of they're explosive, and, you know, we keep explosive things where they don't get blown up. I think that's a pretty obvious rule of thumb. It's a nice one to keep around. Don't forget that. It'll probably save you a lot in the future. Don't keep ammo boxes near the top. That's just kind of stupid and kind of something you just never do. All right, so we can actually see what the reload time is. Reload time is 0.1 seconds, which is really good. Albeit we haven't added any gauge increases. So let's pop on some gauge increases and see what we get. As we increase the gauge, I think I will increase it by 4, and let's see, now it's 0.26, that's also actually not that bad. So now we can start adding explosive warheads, and we can start adding armor-piercing warheads. It doesn't really matter how much of each, just as many as you want. I'm sure in the campaign it'll actually become quite critical to which ones you add and in how many, mainly because you have to have a certain amount of armor-piercing to pierce metal, I believe. But in the situation that we're using right now, wherein we're just in like a creative sandbox, we can really add however much of whatever we really feel like adding to the ship. And so that's useful for us because, you know, we can just plop stuff on all over. All right, so AP is 7.1, explosive damage is 214. I'm not sure how much better we can do. Let's see if we try adding a... where is it at? Where is it at? I keep looking for it, and I know where it is. What does that say? 214? Yes, explosive damage 214. If we add more, let's see what it goes up to. 223. So actually, we do have some room for improvement. This is actually quite a small cannon. Let's see if I can plop some more auto loaders on the side. All right. And let's see, can I fit some on the back right here? I don't like making the top too big because bad stuff happens, but... You know, in this case, I think it is beneficial for us. We'll also add a little bit more armor piercing because I'm sure I didn't get all of that. It was at, what, like 7.6, and it's gone up to 9.1. Yeah, much better. 231 and 9.1. So yeah, we were able to add to the stats of our cannon. I'm not going to add to these outside ones here because, well, I just want to put armor there, and I also don't want to make it look way too big for the front of the ship. Albeit, now you can see, since we've increased the gauge, the cannon looks ridiculously small. So this is when we go back into our cannons, and we add more barrel to the ship. Albeit, now we have to reposition where the barrels are actually located. Just like that. All right, and I'm sure that probably changed something with the reload time. Nope, it actually didn't. Actually, did it make, I think it... No, it didn't really change anything. That's all right, though. All right, so now it looks a little bit better size. Let's test her out, okay? So we can just stand near the bottom. We have control of the cannon, and yeah, it's not bad. The aim is a little bit terrible, and the ship is a little bit too small to actually have a good grasp on how to control it when it's firing, because the recoil is a little bit large, but that can be fixed, I believe. We can add some recoil dampening barrels to it. Do we have those? Do we have those recoil suppression barrels? Yes, we place these down. Let's see, what exactly does it do? It inaccuracy modifier, so it does it actually add? I think it gets rid of inaccuracy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. All right, and recoil modifier 0.7. So does it actually suppress it, or does it just not add it as much? I'm not sure. I am not sure at all. What is the difference between these? 1.1, 0.7. All right, I will just take off these barrels and add these ones on to try and cut down on as much recoil as we possibly can, because that recoil will hurt us in the end because our aim will be quite bad. All right, so the recoil definitely not as bad as it was before, albeit our cannon is also a lot more inaccurate, but, you know, it still has a pretty decent range, and it has a nice spray on it, so I think that will benefit us in the end. We should probably add a predictor to this cannon or two, so we can see what exactly we're trying to shoot at. All right, here's a predictor. Here's a predictor. Let's predict things. All right, oh, I hooked them up right. Good, so now, you know, we can see where we're trying to aim. It doesn't like going up past a certain angle. I've realized this now. I'm not sure why, actually. I'm not sure why it doesn't like going up past a certain angle. I think it's because I build to the left and right of it, or on top of it. It just doesn't like me. Not sure. Alright, but, yeah. Let's see if we can actually try to fix that. I'm not sure how we would fix that. If we get rid of this, and we... I don't know. I actually don't know. That is a problem that I've been having recently, but I'm not actually sure how to fix it. It could be because we have the stuff on the sides. It could be because we have stuff underneath it. Maybe it's because the gauge is too wide, but I don't think it is. I don't think that's the problem. If you guys actually know what's causing the problem, that I can't raise the barrel up any higher, please comment that below in the description. That would be very useful for me to try and figure out. It's been causing me a lot of issues recently, and I would absolutely enjoy, you know, whoever actually tells me that will get a shout out in the next FTD video. So, you know, make sure you keep your posts ready. You know, get those trigger keyboards all pumped and ready to go. So now that we got that down, we can just use light alloy. Forgot that I actually had a hotkey for it. And we can fill in the rest of the ship, basically, and make sure, not the rest of the ship, but fill in the above deck portions and keep everything nice and secure. So we just put a nice armor around the entire top section of it. There we are. You know, nice, get in all the nooks and crannies. All right. Try to make it as nice as you can, because this has to defend your turret, basically. I think this turret might be able to withstand about one blast from another ship before it kind of is toast. My other turrets that I design on stuff like super battleships can withstand up to, you know, 2, 3, on this size cannon, probably maybe even 4 or 5 hits, because, well, it's just incredibly powerful. Not gonna lie, I built some incredibly overpowered things. And so, yeah, how do we make it look cool? Well, we don't. We don't make it look cool. We just make it look awesome. All right, there's a difference. Awesome is better than cool. Because cool is cold, all right? And no one's going to convince me otherwise. All right, so let's change this so we can get some of those nice-looking, you know, slab things. What do you call them? Slopes. Look at that slope. You can use a 2-meter slope there. So fancy breaking out the 2-meter slopes. Look at how jelly that is, man. 2-meter slopes. So OP. Such OP. All right, now let's see if we can add a triangle to this to make it, you know, a little bit even more intense. Is there like a 4 I don't think there is a 4 triangle. That's probably a good thing. The menu might become even larger than it is now. And the menu is pretty sick and large right now, which is, you know, pretty cool. Actually, let's get the slope 4 and pump that on the back there. Looks pretty sick. Looks pretty sick. All right, let's get some slopes on here. And I think we've got ourselves a fully operational cannon. I could add some nice slopes on the front to make it look more ghetto. Maybe not more ghetto, more awesome, I think is the word you're looking for. Look at that. That is a cannon. That is one heck of a cannon. All right, we will stick with that design for now. Actually, I'll put a little slope here to make it look kind of, you know, not as exposed on the top. All right, now we're actually going to need a deck, so let's put in some wood because the ship is already ridiculously heavy and wood does happen to float. which is quite beneficial. We have to go back to editing the hull. All right. I hope I don't have to break this video into 2 parts. It's getting a little bit on the long side. I'd like to wrap it up pretty soon. Go the way across. Set ourselves another mirror. Sorry, I had to burp there. Yeah, very unprofessional burp, if you didn't know that. Burping is unprofessional, according to YouTube. I don't believe them, though. Burping is completely awesome. IMO. All right, and then we can try to do something pretty cool. Again, not using hotkeys for some reason. Not sure why. Not sure why. I really should stop using, or really should start using the hotkeys. It's kind of pointless not to. What do I make this? Do I make this 2 or 3 high? Ooh, I don't know. Hard decisions. Hard decisions. I will make it 2 high because I am unlegit like that. How far forward do I want it to go? I want it to fade out forward. I don't want it to cut off like that. Otherwise, it's going to look absolutely terrible. I know. Very concerned about design layout here. Got a lot of decisions to make. All right. That's looking better. Okay. If we raise this up 1 higher and get another 2 on the top. And then we make this one kind of come down abruptly. Actually, let's use a slope piece there, and that will look better. All right. And then we can use some ally slopes here on the back to, you know, also improve the conditioning of that. All right, look at that. That's looking like a very good start to this project. Probably going to add some missiles, but I think I'm going to save that for a later time. Otherwise, we're going to be here absolutely forever. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to rate, comment. Ooh, that looks actually terrible. Hold on, change that. Do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.